Hey, YouTube family. How you doing? This is Rhonda with Rhonda Loves Life. Thanks for joining me. I am relaxed here in my favorite place, as you know. I've got cold water here and I am ready to jump right in. How are you guys? I am using my webcam camera now and it's still showing up as dark. I don't know why, because I'm looking at it here on the screen, but it's showing up. It's lighter in here than you know. So I don't know why it's showing up on the computer so dark. But it is what it is. I am getting better at scaling up my operation here, my little operation. So you guys know I got the green screen. And I hardly use it because I'm not. It depends on my mood. If I'm on the sofa downstairs, in front of my staircase, because I like the lighting better, or I'm in my room, which I love. It's my favorite place because I get everything. It's all decked out. So I didn't like the computer camera. So I do have a GoPro that I need to learn how to use, by the way. So I'm getting help there. And then I've got this little Logi, I think it's a Logi brand camcorder. So, anyways, how are you guys? We've got a lot to talk about. I am here every night for the most part. A couple of days ago, I had my daughter's graduation. So I apologize for that, but I'm glad to be back on. We've got a new topic tonight. We've got a couple of things. We've got to talk about Blake Lively and Meghan Markle. Is it possible those two are suffering from an incurable brain disorder? And what is that disorder? Malignant narcissism, baby. Malignant narcissism. So now, is that considered, well, psychopaths? And we're going to go over the difference between psychopath and sociopath. Let's do that tonight as well. As far as the mental disorder, I think these two ladies, along with Amber Heard, I think these are seriously malignant narcissists. And I have the list that the mental health experts use to identify a malignant narcissist. We're going to go down the list, and shocking, Meghan Markle hits all the marks. Then we're going to look at how the machine is trying to steal. Always, include Meghan in anything that's royal, because although she married the spare, the spare and Meghan refused to go away, ginger nut nutmeg, but then they still want the machine, and the machine is doing it, trying to always connect them in a loving way to the royal family. And People magazine just did that. Was it People? No, it was Newsweek just did an article saying Meghan go, because it's to celebrate Meghan and Harry's seventh wedding anniversary. So they decided to spin this fake story that Meghan Markle looks down at Charlotte, because Princess Charlotte was the flower girl. So they put in the article, Meghan Markle looks down lovingly at Charlotte. So you see how the machine, the propaganda tools that they use to try to keep royal in Meghan's brand at all costs, even if it's posting images of her wedding 7 years ago, before she and Mary blew up their whole situation. So we're going to get into that. That's going to be fun. Also, Kid Cudi was on the stand today. And Kid Cudi, he talked about how Puff Daddy blew up his car. He said that he had feelings for Cassie. But my question is, why did Cassie give Kid Cudi, uh, why did she give Puff Daddy Kid Cudi's address? So we're going to get into that and more. Did we have, so yeah, that Blake Lively and Meghan Markle, that narcissism, we're going to get into it. Cassie Ventura, Kid Cudi, we're going to get into that. And then also, there was one more thing. Oh, I want to go into the difference between sociopath and psychopath. And that'll be on our list here, because we got to get into that so we can understand. And it was something else I wanted to go over, but you know what? These two are two great topics. I will not stay on the 2 hours. I'm going to try to do the hour, hour and a half. And, and then I keep coming back every night. If you're here, I'm here. All right, let's get into it. So first of all, Blake Lively and Meghan Markle. Hey, Deluxe Life, how you doing? Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. So Blake Lively and Meghan Markle. Now, Blake Lively, have you guys been keeping up with her? Let's pull her up. Have you been keeping up with what's going on with her and what she did to that young man, Baldoni, the director? I believe he's also the producer. So is she, of that Netflix show that she was in, that they made together, which I thought was really a good series, but wasn't it? No, it was just a movie. I thought it was pretty good, but it was the topic was really jarring because it was about DV. But I thought it was, a very well, I thought it was okay, and the topic was important. But all of a sudden, Miss Blake Lively, she just decides to try to railroad this young man. Just a quick recap. She decides to railroad this young man. I want to put him up, Baldoni, too, so we can see Baldoni's face, because he's an innocent in this whole thing. She tried to railroad him, take over the project, used her husband's power. As you know, she and her husband are also represented by Meghan Markle's talent agent, Ari Emanuel, WME. So it goes to show you, although I say Ari Emanuel is just doing his job, but it's interesting that he represents both of those two malignant narcissists. So let's put up Justin Baldoni and then we're going to go into how she betrayed Taylor Swift, which is shocking. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's pull this up. Let's see, view tab. There we go. All right, so just a little bit, a quick summary of what went down with these two. All right, so Blake Deluxe, did you watch the movie? I did too. It was hard to watch because it was a DV movie, right? It was so hard to watch, but I powered through, and I actually like, and I think that Baldoni, he did good, and he's got a podcast where he talks about protecting women and how men can work on their anger, all of that stuff. That's stuff that I would like to hear men talk about, and not jump into just being aggressive, violent, angry, because how's it going to do you any good? So anyways, I thought the movie was great. I like Baldoni, but then I noticed that all of this controversy, Baldoni, Blake Lively was the first. She was the one that triggered the complaint against Baldoni. And then she accused him of harassment, bullying, all of that stuff. She did that. And then what he did, which is what I love, he decided to fight back. Thanks to Johnny Depp and that Amber Heard. Remember, Amber Heard was all these lies, and come to find out the girl it was a toxic relationship, but it was not what she had made it out to be. No, ma'am. No, sir. Nope, not at all. So anyways, Blake Lively decided that she was going to start a campaign of systematically destroying this man's life. And he fought back. And I think that was a brilliant idea. Thank God for Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp decided to fight back, and he won his case against Amber Heard. He won basically, we got to see a malignant narcissist. Her mask fell off like Meghan Markle. Her mask fell. We got to see that creature, and we couldn't unsee it. Side note, I hear she just had she had a baby. Did she have twins or something? She just gave birth to a baby or twins. I can't recall, because it's like when I read, I'm not that interested in her. But she was something else on the stand. So I think that Johnny Depp case, I think what it did was that it set a precedence where men could now fight to defend themselves. We can't not just assume because a woman cry and weaponize them tears and say, oh, he harassed me, I'm the victim, poor me. And then we just assume that she's telling the truth, because there are some malignant narcissists, male and female. These are psychopaths, and we're going to get into the definition soon in this video. But to do that to that young man, and I actually, before all this kicked off, when I saw the movie on Netflix, and I got a chance to kind of read about this young man, he had a Vogue went into him and his wife's house. You know how Vogue invites the celebrities invite Vogue into their home. Well, that's what happened with this guy, and I like him. I like him. The movie, it took courage to make that movie because he was a total asshole in that movie. But you kind of sympathize with him because of what his family of origin was. And his childhood was so traumatic in the movie. So it shows you how complex an abuser is. And they are not born that way most of the time. It's their family of origin. It's how they were raised, what happened in their lives. If it's a combination of just trauma after trauma, they may have just learned how to go through life handling their conflicts and stuff just like that, you know. So anyways, I liked him. He has a wife, they got children, and he's got a podcast, like I said, where he talks about men being able to address their own mental health issues and how they need to protect women. And then this animal, Blake Lively, she used her power with Ari Emanuel and WME and her husband. They tried to hijack the movie. When they had the red carpet, Blake Lively's, Jason Baldoni's, his family had to go in a room somewhere off in the basement or something. It's weird. Him and his family, when they had the red carpet, Blake Lively and her husband and their team refused to be on the same red carpet as him, trying to promote a movie. So she was the face of that movie, and he wasn't. She was systematically destroying him. And guess what? WME fired him. Yeah, they fired him. He was represented by WME. They fired this young man, without any sort of, he had no way of defending himself. None. So Baldoni's attorney went out on this media tour explaining his side, and the picture started. Then it became crystal clear. Like, for instance, she was saying that Blake Lively was saying that he came busting her trailer when she was breastfeeding, or he had his friend when they had the delivery scene in the hospital where she had to sit with her legs in the stirrups to give birth. He hired one of his friends to look between her legs. Come to find out, one more thing. The intimacy coach, she said that she implied that he basically did not enforce it or something. And come to find out, she was the one that canceled. So once started the facts, because there are always two sides to a story, and the truth is always in the middle, okay? Once Baldoni's attorney came out and started talking about and sharing light on Baldoni's side, come to find out, Blake in a text invited him to come to her trailer while she was breastfeeding. She's the one that canceled the intimacy coach. And then come to find out also, it looks like it wasn't his friend, it was an actual working actor. So it's not like he said, hey, bud, come on up to the set because her legs are going to be in stirrups and you can get a money shot. You know, you can get a front seat shot, no. So she was willing to destroy his life. And if he did not go out and fight for it and start defending himself, she would have. One of it was at New York Post or New York Times. One of them, they're also being sued by Baldoni. And let me get the name of it so that I am not sued by not naming the right newspaper. So Baldoni suing New York. Yeah, New York Times. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Baldoni, we're going to put this out. Justin Baldoni filed a $400 million lawsuit against the New York Times, alleging defamation and false light invasion of privacy after the publication's December 2024 article about his alleged misconduct on the set of It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively. I love that. Yes, take them all to court. Because remember, I told you guys, the celebrities, their talent agencies, the advertising giants, the streaming services, these newspapers are politicians. They are all in it together. So that's why when you go and you look at The View and you see how The View had Biden on, come to find out he got cancer, and then you got Jill Biden there finishing his sentences and shit. So, and he got a book coming out, I think. So they pushing him up like our lying ass. We don't have common sense, right? How CBS, Meghan Markle and her husband and their friends, a head of Paramount. You know what I mean? You notice that they had Polly on there. That's Gayle King's. Oprah's wife is on CBS. They push Meghan up. Then you got the People magazine, In Style, Newsweek, all of these propaganda rags, and their only goal is to push up these celebrities. They're the marketing arm. So New York Times stuck their head out and exposed themselves to being a marketing arm for Ari Emanuel's clients. And it's Blake Lively and her husband. And now they done fucked up and found out. So now they in a $400 million lawsuit. And that young man, I hope he wins. I hope he gets every dime. He probably won't get the 400 million, but this is a black eye to the New York Times. Who do you think you are that you can step out and there's no proof? There's no proof of what she said was true. Come to find out, it's a lot more complex than that. And you know what? It's not complex. She's just a damn liar. That's what that is. She's a whole liar. The New York Times went on and they just took her side because they are the propaganda arm of these Hollywood giants too. So when they want to sell a movie, when they want to promote, if say one of Ari Emanuel's talents, because he got Blake Lively, and then Ryan is saying, I don't want to be part of the lawsuit. Too late, buddy. You stuck your nose in, you fucked up and found out. Meghan Markle, when their clients get in trouble, they want to be able to use the magazine rags, these propaganda rags, even our newspapers, who's supposed to be reputable news sources. Oh no, you got to be careful. You got to kind of look at it with a squinted eye and ask, why are they writing this? And then be a critical thinker and say, why would they write this? Are they being, unbiased? Are they being balanced? Are they? They weren't. New York Times, so they fucked up and found out. Excuse my French, but that's just the way it is. That's just being honest. So imagine if that was your brother or your husband or your son. Baldoni got dropped by Ari Emanuel. He's losing millions. That's why I would take to these lawsuits. I would sue everybody who decided to take her side without ever asking. That was so wrong. So thank God for Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp really, he sort of paved the way for men who get caught up with these narcissistic, malignant, psychopaths, sociopaths. We're going to get into the definition in a minute. And get caught up and have no way of protecting themselves. Soon as she started crying and weaponizing them tears, then she thought, okay, and everybody believed her. And nobody asked this young man, well, what's your story? So now we get to hear the story, the full story, because it's going to come out in court. And I hope that you know what, when this is over, I can't wait till he write a book, do an interview. And plus, he is one cutie patootie, though. Oh, he is fine. Yes, he is also. Yes, Deluxe. I think that she was attracted to him. I really do. I think this is a woman scorned. I really do. He's good looking. Yeah, he is very good looking, Delos. Yes, yes. I think that she was attracted to him. It's she received. She received a narcissistic injury. That's what I think happened because he's got a whole wife and kids, and he probably thought she was cute. Maybe she not his type. She don't even look nowhere near like his wife. So I don't know what his type is. Blake Lively is pretty, but okay, you pretty, but maybe not everybody is. Not all men are going to just drop down to the knees for you, girl. Sorry, aren't you married with kids? And why are you throwing all of this toxic energy at this young man? I do believe that she received a narcissistic injury with him. I think that he probably kept it. He was uninterested. He was a director and producer. I think she's a producer too, but I think he had higher credits. I think this was his movie. And I think that she felt like, for whatever reason, she did not like him anymore. So she decided to destroy him. So instead of doing what most healthy people in a normal space do, you can have a crush on him, but he's married, you married. But most healthy people are not going to take it as a slight or betrayal or an insult because he's just not that impressed with you. That's what I think happened. And my spidey senses tells me. So, and when you are a malignant narcissist, anything can trigger. You can receive a narcissistic injury at any time because you are so fragile. So that's with him. But I'm glad he got money to pay for a lawyer, and I will put both of their ass. I will take Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, New York Times, and I will sue him out. And that's what he's doing. Good for him. Now, Blake Lively decided she was going to betray her bestie, Taylor Swift. She was allegedly willing to release 10 years worth of text messages from Taylor Swift, her relationship. So Taylor is backing down. I don't blame Taylor. Taylor's like, why are you putting me in the middle of your shit? Why are you putting me in the middle of your crap? This is you and your husband. You made this mess. You lie in it. You lie right in it. Because Blake Lively called Taylor Swift one of her dragons. Tell me, I got one of my dragons that can come for you, or something along those lines. So let's look at this article with Taylor Swift, what People Magazine is saying about this. And Taylor, that's friends like that. It's like, don't put me in the middle of your crap, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. You decide to pick a fight, that's between you. That is not my business. I want no part of it. So People Magazine on May 22nd, which is today, they say that Taylor Swift is no longer subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni on surprise reversal for Blake Lively legal dispute. So it looks like once Taylor Swift created some distance. So I know that's the second article. Let's look at this first one about their this article. Let's see. I think it's the Daily Mail. Let's look at that one. The Daily Mail is saying that Swift dragged into Baldoni, Lively into their drama. And when was this? This had to have been recent too, because I just heard about it. But let's scroll down here and take a look. So Daily Mail, and when was this written? May 14. Okay, good. Blake Lively threatened to expose Taylor Swift's private texts unless she publicly sided with her in Justin Baldoni feud. Really? She threatened her for real, and she found out. Okay. Blake Lively allegedly threatened to leak embarrassing private texts from bestie Taylor Swift unless the pop star agreed to publicly back the actress in her feud with co-star Justin Baldoni. DailyMail.com can exclusively reveal. The explosive revelation appears in a legal letter filed Wednesday by Baldoni's lawyers in response to Lively's request to quash their subpoena to the singer. The court filing alleges that the Gossip Girl alum had tried to pressure Swift, 35, to issue a public statement in support of her and urged her to delete text messages between them during her escalating legal battle with Baldoni. Okay, so let's go down a little bit more. Okay. Oh, come on. What the heck happened? There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. The latest twist sheds further light. Uh-oh. Okay, come on. Sorry, guys, that this page is so sensitive. So sensitive. Okay, let me see if I can use my arrow. Oh, here we go. I can use this. Okay. Let's go up here. Okay, the latest twist sheds further light on the collapse of Lively and Swift's once close friendship, which has gone cold amid the actress' high-stake lawsuit involving the actor. Since then, both Swift and Lively have been subpoenaed for communications about the case, despite the superstar's attempt to distance herself from the furor. Now, wait a minute. She got her friend, she done got Taylor Swift in a mix of some subpoenas and all of that over a fight that she has nothing to do with? In the letter to the judge obtained by Daily Mail, Baldoni's legal team, led by Brian Freeman, hit back at Lively's wrong claims that the proposed subpoena to Swift seeks irrelevant documents. Wow, that's pretty. That's a pretty dress. She's pretty. Friedman argued that it aims to obtain information relating to witness tampering and evidence spoliation, specifically that Lively had attempted coerce Swift into publicly siding with her. According to the letter, Baldoni's attorneys received information that Miss Lively requested that Taylor Swift delete their text messages, which, according to inside sources, may have contained details from over a decade of friendship, relationships, and private confidences. It also claims Lively's lawyer, Michael Gottlieb, had contacted Swift's attorney and demanded that Miss Swift release a statement of support for Miss Lively, intimating that if Miss Swift refuses to do so, private text messages of a personal nature in Miss Lively's possession would be released. In response, Swift's reps purportedly addressed Lively's inappropriate and apparently extortionate threats in at least one written communication sent to Gottlieb, according to Freedom. It is those communications that Baldoni's team seeks to obtain by way of subpoena, as they would evidence an attempt to intimidate and coerce a percipient witness in this litigation, the letter states. Wow. So here, Lively's lawyer contacted Swift's attorney and demanded that Miss Swift release a statement of support for Miss Lively, intimating that if Miss Swift refused to do so, private text messages of a personal nature in Miss Lively's possession would be released. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's crazy. Why would you do that? Why would, in your mind, why would you think it is okay? Taylor Swift is a whole like Uber. I mean, she's rich and successful. Blake Lively and her, I told you guys, they live way up here. But I'm thinking the powers, she's got a powerhouse agent. And they are playing hardball. And she's fighting for her reputation, her brand. This is Blake Lively. But Blake, you are up against, your mask fell off. You got caught trying to destroy this young man's life. But to go and have your attorney allegedly write a threatening letter, message to Taylor Swift attorney and threaten her if she don't release those text messages, she don't publicly support them and delete text messages, you're going to release them? Some private? Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. I mean, yep, Deluxe, these industry people are crazy. They are. I told you, malignant narcissists. We're going to get into that. We are going to get into that tonight because I find this blows my mind. Because whoever thought that would be a normal thing to do? Whoever thought to think that you, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm in the midst of a, I have stirred up a hornet's nest and I'm fighting for my life, my brand. So this is what I'm going to do. One of my good friends, we've been good friends for 10 years at least. She's a superstar. She's one of my dragons. I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of leaving her out of it and saying she has nothing to do with it, she doesn't want to destroy all her hard work and her brand, I leave her out of it. Oh, instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my lawyer go send that bitch a letter, threatening letter. That's going to make her listen. It did not make her listen. No. Guess what? She's all her attorneys and Baldoni's attorneys basically came to an agreement, and Blake Lively is not going to defend, Taylor Swift is not going to defend Blake Lively in any capacity. So let's see what the People magazine is writing on this. Because this was just written today. This one I really want to go into. It says Taylor Swift no longer subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni in surprise reversal for Blake Lively legal dispute. So early in May, the pop superstar, who's longtime friends with Lively, was sent a document subpoena by Baldoni's lawyer. That is crazy. Why are you sending me? Why are you putting me in the middle? That's not a friend. That is not a good friend. That's a Hollywood friend. Those people ain't no friends in that game. They're users. They eat you up and spit you out. Thank goodness Taylor Swift got more money to burn and got more power. But you're going to have to take it there with a narcissist, with a malignant narcissist. You got to put them down. You got to put your money and power behind it to shut them down. Then they move on to the next victim. But it says here, Blake Lively's rep confirmed May 22nd that the subpoena sent to Taylor Swift was withdrawn by Justin Baldoni's legal team. Swift's rep previously slammed the subpoena, claiming it was a play for tabloid clickbait instead of focusing on the facts of the case. Lively and Baldoni's trial is currently scheduled for March 2026. Oh, so it's next year. Okay. Now here it says... Lively, who cares? But okay, Justin Baldoni has dropped the document subpoena that was issued to Taylor Swift in his ongoing legal battle with the singer friend Blake Lively. Come all guns blazing, Baldoni. You got to come all guns blazing because you're dealing with a whole malignant narcissist. There is no reasoning or compromising with a creature like that. Okay, here it is. A spokesperson for Lively confirmed the news on Thursday, saying in a statement, they are pleased Baldoni's legal team has withdrawn their harassing subpoenas to Taylor Swift and her law firm. Okay, so Taylor Swift is pissed. Okay, we know she's going to be pissed. She don't want to be nowhere near it. She don't want to be nowhere near it. But I can guarantee you she has not said anything in support of Blake Lively. Nothing. So let's go on with this. Of course, Lively's team say we supported the efforts of Taylor's team to quash these inappropriate subpoenas directed to our counsel, and we will continue to stand up for any third party who is unjustly harassed or threatened in the process as the spokesperson. Well, Blake, you the one that put her in there. Blake Lively, you the one to put her in there talking about your dragons and sending her threatening letters. She should release that. Your lawyer that sent her lawyer that message saying that if she didn't publicly defend you, you were going to release text messages. I don't see Taylor Swift going around defending you, girl. You out here by yourself, alone with you and your husband and your lawyers. Okay, here it is. The Baldoni and Wayfair team have tried to put Taylor Swift, a woman who has been in this. Okay, we don't want to hear that. Okay, we don't want to hear nothing Blake's team has to say. But reps for Baldoni did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. Yeah, of course. Baldoni, and you got to remember People magazine. Now, they are, it looks like this article, you got to be careful. You got to ask yourself, who does this article serve the best? Is it a balanced article? Is it balanced? And it seems to me like it's slanted towards, not skewed, it's slanted towards Taylor Swift being innocently included in this by Baldoni's team. But that's not quite the whole story. That's not quite the whole story. So this article, I'm going to call it, when we look at these, do we want to call it is it a propaganda piece, or is it slightly, I would say it's slightly propaganda. What you think? Because it's not balanced. It's not, is it balanced? Not really. Because what it does is it talks about Baldoni's team, and it says here, and they put it in the need to know, which is highlighted here. And it says, so this is to support Blake Lively and Taylor Swift. So it says Blake Lively's rep confirmed that the subpoena sent to Taylor Swift was withdrawn. Okay, why is Blake Lively team speaking on behalf of Taylor Swift? Shouldn't Taylor Swift attorney be saying Taylor Swift is no longer it's been withdrawn? Why is Blake Lively talking at all in this case if Taylor Swift is the one that was being served with the subpoena? Then this one says Swift's rep previously slammed the subpoena. So Taylor Swift, a rep slam. Okay, rep slammed the subpoena. So up here it's Blake Lively's rep. Here is Swift's rep, and then it gives Lively. It gives the date of the trial, and then you go here in the detail. It talks about Justin Baldoni dropping the subpoena, but they only give a spokesperson from Lively Blake. It says, and then they give a statement here saying that we support the efforts of Taylor's team. This is Blake Lively's people. And then they also post a full statement from Blake Lively's people. The Baldoni and Wayfarer team have tried to put Taylor Swift, a woman who has been an inspiration for tens of millions across the globe, at the center of this case since day one. Lively rep claimed exploiting Taylor Swift's celebrity was the original plan in Melissa Nathan's scenario planning document, and it continues to this day. Faced with having to justify themselves in federal court, they folded. At some point, they will run out of distractions from the actual claims of harassment and retaliation they are facing. Well, I don't agree with you. Who is this? Who's the spokesperson? Taylor's spokesperson? I don't agree with you at all. This was just nothing but another. Now it's skewed. I thought it was balanced, but on total view, when I read the entire article, Baldoni, and the fact that the rep for Baldoni did not immediately respond to people's requests, that's because this is not a balanced piece. This is nothing but a PR campaign, a marketing campaign to create, to kind of give the impression or the illusion that Baldoni's team is bullying Taylor Swift into, he's a bully, release them text messages, when in reality, Blake Lively was the one that put her best friend, Taylor Swift, out there for the world, calling her a dragon, and also having her attorney threaten Taylor Swift with publishing text messages if she did not show her publicly come out and defend her friend Blake Lively. So this is word spin, is PR. So if you go down in here, I want to see if they bring up the fact that Blake Lively did, her people sent Taylor Swift them text that threatening email, threatening her if she didn't come out. So let's see. After the subpoena was issued earlier, the spokesperson of Swift released a statement emphasizing that Swift had no connection to the film. Okay, now they're talking about, okay, after the subpoena was issued, now they need to lead with that up here. See, look at this. It says Taylor Swift no longer subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni in surprise reversal for Blake Lively legal dispute. No, this had no. And then they go in and push Blake Lively, Taylor Swift. This is all the propaganda they're pushing. Then down here towards the end of the article, look at that. Then they put in Baldoni's. After the subpoena was issued early this month, a spokesperson for Swift released a statement emphasizing that Swift 35 had no close connection to the filming of It Ends With Us. Okay, so Taylor Swift never set foot on the set of this movie. She was not involved in any casting or creative decision. She did not score the film. She never saw or edit. Blah, 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 blah. The connection Taylor had to this film is permitting the use of one song My tears ricochet. Given that her involvement was licensing a song for the film, which 19 other artists did, that this document subpoena is designed to use Taylor Swift's name to draw public interest. Okay, so they are just, okay, they are Taylor Swift. They are just pushing Taylor Swift's side, saying she had nothing to do, and Taylor Swift did not have anything to do with it. But this article still, I believe, is skewed, in my opinion. On May 14, Baldoni's attorneys also brought forth a bombshell claim in a letter to the judge alleging they had learned through an anonymous source that Lively had threatened to release private texts between her and Swift if the singer did not publicly support her. Lively's attorney, Mike Gottlieb, slammed the allegations as categorically false. Judge Louis J. Lemon granted a motion on May 15 to strike the letter from the record, calling it improper and irrelevant to any issue before this court. Okay, so we're not going to go Lively 37. Baldoni is 41, so he's a full-grown ass man. He's not a young man. I mean, he looks young to me, and he is cute. But I don't believe this article is skewed. It's propaganda piece still, in my opinion. What do you guys think? It's a propaganda piece. Let's get in the comments. Hey, Deluxe. Okay. She don't want them Swifties coming for her. Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift got a lot. I mean, did you see how much money she made during her tour last year? So this case, as far as I'm concerned, you can't trust People Magazine and all them. They are marketing arms. You always got to question what they're writing. Read what they're writing and see if it's on balance. If it's not on balance, you know it's a propaganda piece. Okay. All right. So let's move on to did Cassie play Kid Cudi? So now the courts. Oh, you know what? Before we move on to that, I wanted to get into narcissism, because remember I told you in the title, it's Blake Lively and Meghan Markle. They both have an incurable brain disorder or mental disorder, and it's malignant narcissism. And we want to get into that a little bit. Okay. And then also we're going to cover another PR propaganda piece, this time Newsweek. Harry and Meghan celebrated their 7th wedding anniversary. So, you know, every chance they get, the machine, y'all. I don't have my other hand because I'm holding the computer up. The machine. Every day they want to keep reminding us that, guess what? Meghan Markle is royal. She's our royal. She's married to the prince. She snagged the bag. So before we get into that Meghan Markle, I want to pull up signs of malignancy, how to identify. First of all, let's pull up the difference between sociopath and psychopath. I am so curious. So hold on one second. Difference between psychopath and sociopath. And we're going to share this screen, y'all. Share the tab. And so we can learn it together, okay? We can learn it together. Uh-oh, what happened? Let's see, view tab. Uh-oh. Oh, I know what happened. I've got to, let's see, show it first. View tab and StreamYard. View tab. Uh-oh, it did not come up. Let me stop sharing, and then let me pull it up again. Let's pull it up again. You think sociopath is worse, Deluxe? Okay, let's see. Share screen. It might be. We're gonna see. We're gonna learn in a minute. I think so. I don't know. Let me learn a difference though. Let's see. View the tab in StreamYard. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Let's pull this up so you can really see it. All right. So, all right. Psychopath and sociopath are terms often used interchangeably, but there are subtle differences between them. Okay. Subtle. Psychopath, a person with a personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy, remorse, and guilt, along with manipulative and antisocial behavior. So we know that is Meghan Markle, and that was Amber Heard, and it sounds like that's Blake Lively. So a sociopath is a person with similar traits to a psychopath, but who may show some remorse and have a weaker sense of morality. Oh, okay. So a psychopath is a whole personality disorder. Sociopath has similar traits to a psychopath, but who may show some remorse and have a weaker sense of morality. Okay, so a sociopath does have remorse. So a sociopath is, I think, is it safe to say that a sociopath is bred that way, like made that way because of their circumstances? You know, if they come from a very abusive childhood or, um, but they do have remorse and empathy, whereas psychopaths really don't. And that's it. Okay, so psychopath is what what Meghan Markle is, and Blake Lively, and I believe Amber Heard. And we're going to look at some of the key differences here. But sociopath, I'm thinking a sociopath would be like, let's use Prince Harry for example. Prince Harry, how he treated that woman from Africa. You know, Prince Harry's got empathy and remorse. He's remorseful, but because he is a spoiled, arrogant, very wealthy man with no guardrails, he can probably display sociopath behavior, in my opinion. And the way that he's so brutally attacking his family, to me, that is cruel. And that borderlines on sociopath behavior. And as he moves on in his life, so think of, these are the people that we see out front, his family, or like that poor woman with the Catholic charity, not the Catholic, that African charity fiasco. But what about all the people that we don't see that interact in his life, that he just basically, because remember, he is a spoiled, rich, arrogant prince with no guardrails. So he would have to be careful, but he also paired up with a psychopath. I'm fascinated by that. So let's look at the key differences. Moral compass. Okay. Psychopaths have a complete absence of a moral compass, while sociopaths may have a weakened sense of morality. I see that. I do see that. Psychopaths, they have no moral compass. Like Meghan Markle go and lie, and she can discard her family. That's just an example. Okay, impulsivity. Psychopaths are more calculated and manipulative, while sociopaths can be more impulsive and prone to violence. That is so Prince Harry. Prince Harry is impulsive. Now, I do find Meghan Markle to be impulsive too, but she's a lot more stealth with her actions. That's where the calculation and manipulation come in. Can't identify it, but she's like, she puts up that mood, they call it a mood board. And I'm like, girl, that's a damn scrap board. And what you give it a name, and what you want to show everybody, the baby exists, you were pregnant, that you got Harry. And then we're supposed to just say, oh, this is a moon board, and think it's Californian. Californians are not doing that stupid shit. Emotional regulation. Psychopaths have difficulty regulating their emotions and may show shallow or superficial emotions, while sociopaths may experience some emotional fluctuations. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I can see like Harry, his emotions are going up and down because he's feeling. He does have empathy. He can feel. He's got emotions. Psychopaths, they don't have no emotions. They fake emotions. They really don't. And this difficulty regulating their emotions. Well, I mean, what emotions? Well, what feelings? So this is where a real mental health expert would probably be able to explain it in detail. Because to me, I'm like, they're only, I guess, emotions when they don't get what they want, when they get angry, they lash out, and they show shallow or superficial emotions because they don't have nothing in there. Like in the Comedy Central when they did the "We Want Freedom" Harry and Meghan skit, and Harry said, "Meghan, where are you?" and pulled that head back, and it was nothing in there. That's because she don't have anything in there. Now let's move to criminal behavior. Both psychopaths and sociopaths can engage in criminal behavior, but psychopaths are more likely to plan and execute complex crimes, while sociopaths may be more impulsive and prone to petty crimes. Now, see, I that's an interesting one because I don't find Meghan Markle to be, well, you know what, she can do complex. I don't see that they're exercising any criminal behavior at all, but I do think that she is highly manipulative and um, very, very disruptive. She's very toxic. It says here it's important to emphasize that these are generalizations and there may be overlap between the two, which is I do see that. Additionally, both psychopathy and sociopathy are complex mental health conditions that should be diagnosed and treated by a qualified professional. That I do agree on. I am not certainly not a professional, but I've lived long enough in there. I lived over 50 years in this world, and I've got some common sense, and I've lived and learned, baby, lived and learned enough to identify that these two, I mean, especially Meghan Markle, her, Blake Lively, and Amber Heard, they all have the same mental disorder in common. They are whole psychopaths, in my opinion. In my, I've lived enough to learn in this life. I've lived enough in this life, and I've learned. And in my wisdom, my spidey senses tell me those three girls are really mentally ill. They are psychopaths. Period. Point blank. Period. So let's get into the Newsweek propaganda article, and then we'll do Kid Cudi. We're doing good on time. All right. Meghan Markle's reaction to Prince Charlotte at wedding goes viral. Now they want us to believe. They want us to believe that in celebration of Harry and Meghan's wedding. So this was published today. So Newsweek. So is this not Ari Emanuel's hand, Meghan's machine, trying to really keep them looped in, into royal? Because we already know that they stepped down and the royal family's not talking to them. Side note, I saw on YouTube one of the news, I don't know if it's News Nation or one of those, said King Charles is coming to New York to visit Harry. I said, okay, well, let's wait and see the pictures. Let's wait and see the pictures because they can say anything. Where did they get that from? Did you hear it from Buckingham Palace, the press office? So anyways, Newsweek today posted this. Meghan Markle's reaction to Princess Charlotte at wedding goes viral. So they post a picture of Meghan's wedding as she looks back at Charlotte. Now, this was 7 years ago. This was during their wedding. So I asked myself, what is Newsweek? What's their goal here with this article? So let's read it. Meghan Markle appeared to bow to Princess Charlotte during her wedding ceremony, went newly viral after her anniversary. So apparently on TikTok, okay, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are celebrating 7 years since they tied the knot at St. George Chapel in Windsor Castle in May 2018. And a clip from the ceremony went newly viral on TikTok, showing the moment Meghan appeared to bow at Princess Charlotte. Now we're going to go over to TikTok. Well, I don't know if I can get into TikTok. I have an account, but I think it's old. So look, why it matters. Now they're going to tell us why it should matter to us, right? The footage was liked 84,600 times and viewed 1.1 million times after being posted in the 3 days after Harry and Meghan's anniversary. What to know? It is not completely clear whether Meghan intended to bow out of respect or simply dipped her head to make eye contact with Charlotte, who then, aged 3, was significantly smaller than her. Didn't she make Charlotte cry? Didn't she make Princess Charlotte cry? So Charlotte was a flower girl at Meghan and Harry's wedding alongside the children of her other friends, including the Duchess, one-time Canadian stylist Jessica Mulroney. At the time, welcoming Prince William and Princess Kate's daughter to play an official role in the wedding appeared a natural and positive mood. However, Charlotte's role is mainly now linked in the public and the media's imagination to an argument between Meghan and Kate over Charlotte's dress not fitting. Okay, they put that in there. We want to know what else. First, there was a story, okay, in the Daily Telegraph in November 2018 suggesting Meghan made Kate cry. Then Meghan told Oprah in 21 it was the other way around before Prince Harry gave a more detailed account in his book Spare in 2023. He wrote that Kate told Meghan, Charlotte's dress is too big, too long, too baggy. She cried when she tried it on at home. Right, Meghan replied, and I told you the tailor has been standing by since 8 a.m. here at KP. Can you take Charlotte to have it altered as the other moms are doing? According to Harry, Kate said no. All the dresses need to be remade. In Spare, the prince suggested the argument between them ended with Meghan on the floor in tears while Kate later apologized. Really? Okay, so let's finish this. So they put that at the bottom. More recently, Meghan Markle, oh, here it is. Meghan marked her anniversary on May 19 with an Instagram post giving a rare glimpse of her own children, Prince Archie and Prince Lilibet. The couple usually hide the youngsters' faces in online photos, but in these, their features were visible. Really? Where? Where? When they, I mean, where? I mean, when they little babies, we can't tell their faces. The images were small, however, as they pinned to her wedding anniversary mood board, along with some previously published pictures and the words to Stand By Me, one of the songs performed during the, oh, who cares? Okay. Okay, what people are saying. The post sparked some debate in the comments where fans disagreed about whether they thought Meghan had made a respectful gesture to Charlotte. One fan replied, Meghan is so respectful for bowing to Princess Charlotte, while another said, no, she didn't. She smiled at everyone but Charlotte. We got to get in to see this TikTok. Let's go TikTok. Let's see viral on TikTok. We want to go in and see this. Oh, come on. Okay, let me see if I can find it over on this end. Because we got to see, they claim it was how many? 1.1 million views. TikTok. Let's see if I can get in to TikTok. Because I had an account a while ago, but I hardly ever go in. Oh, okay. Log in, but I got to log in first. Can I use, let me see. Which account? I think it's this one. Okay, continue. If I got to put in a password, I can't. Oh, something's happening. Something. I'm logged in, y'all. Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so let's Meghan Markle. Let's see what that. Let's see how many. Let's see the real deal. Let's take a look at this, because this is just another. Okay, so here we go. That's 23. We need where's the current one? Because that's June 20, 24. Let me see. I don't see. Where did they say in the article? Where does it say? Meghan bowed to Prince. Oh, I can't find it. We would love Meghan Markle bows. Because we got to see in real time, because you can't buy what they put in there. Let's try this one. They got so many. I'm going to share this with you guys so you can see. So you can see for yourself what they really have on. Can you see it? Okay, now this is TikTok. When I do Meghan Markle looking at Charlotte, they got Meghan Markle ignoring Princess Charlotte, Meghan Markle being mean, Meghan Markle looking crazy. So where did they get this information from? Meghan Markle, bows to Charlotte. You notice how they look for information on here, and then they go with the story. So let's see if we can find it here. See, that's January 16. Oh, now this was, wait a minute. Okay. Trying to put this on mute so they don't. Oh, here it is. So you see this. Now they said this got millions. This was posted. How can you tell how many? What are they talking about? This was posted in 2024. $348 likes, but she said she wasn't smiling at Shari at her wedding. She was glaring at her. So I don't know what they're talking about. So let's go back and let's see. Maybe we can find. I don't see any current one, but there are a lot of these that are written. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't see anything. Let me see. Meghan, let's do one more time. And then, so I don't know, because they got Meghan glares at Charlotte. So this is Meghan glaring at Charlotte. Look at this is good. This is good, y'all. Look at this. Glares at, smiles. Okay. Oh, I know they're like, oh, now this one, look at this. So when Newsweek decided to post that propaganda piece, where's this, and when I click onto the TikTok, let me see now that I have it open, if it lets me get to it. Let's see. No, it won't let me in. So you can't even, they claim here, I'm sure they're not just going to lie, right? They say why it matters right here. The footage was liked by 84,600 times and viewed 1.1 million times after being posted in the days after Harry and Meghan's anniversary. Really? So let's look at Harry and Meghan's anniversary. Smile at Charlotte anniversary. See if this comes up. No. And let's look at, oh, here it is. Oh, this is no, this was look at this. Let's see.
This photo montage as she celebrates 7 years of marriage to Prince Harry. In the storyboard posted to Instagram, you can see amazing details of their life together so far. And these include never-before-seen snaps of photos of their two children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet.
Girl, we don't give a shit. What are you talking about? You didn't waste my time. You waste 2 minutes of my time, or 2 seconds. Uh-oh, here's one. Mass slip, epic proportions. Look at this one. What? So what are they talking about? Let me put in anniversary and then we're going to move on, because I don't get Meghan Markle anniversary. Harry and Meghan. And then we're going to go on. But I want to see this 1.1 million view video. I want to see that. So where are the... Okay, I don't see anything. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go with, that's a propaganda piece. Another propaganda piece. That's all it is. That is all that it is, y'all. Ooh, Lordy. Uh-oh, here's another one. Her mask slips. Oh, look at that. See? Oh, that's Harry she's staring at. And then she see the camera on her. Look at that. Look at that. And then she puts the mask back on. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Oh, go ahead, Meghan. You go, girl. Your mask slipped. So, okay, let's go back to this Newsweek article and let's just say we're going to call this another propaganda piece. Because they said what we should know. Wait a minute. Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, here, this is it, I think, right? Let me make sure. This is on TikTok. Okay, let's go in here. I think this is it. But where is the... Wait a minute. It's not linked to it. That's crazy. I thought they said, didn't they say we're going to, because we got to call them on it, guys. I just want to call them on it. Oh, here it is. Princess Charlotte at M1 VSP1. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Here it is, y'all. We got it. Hold on. I got it. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Where is... There we go. Now, I don't see those millions of... Did you see that? I don't see the millions they were talking about. Let me go up here. Let's see. Can we... Let's try to move that. Where can you guys see the... Let me see. Let's go back this way. That way. There we go. 115. Let's look at... This is not... Didn't they say 489,000? This is 115,000. This how delusional I've become at 3 a.m. Please stop spreading false information. She didn't bow her head. She was looking at her, not bowing. So let's look at the video and see what they're talking about. Let's go back. Oh, they won't let me. Why won't they let me? Oh, let's do this again. There we go. Is she bowing at her? I don't know. What difference does it make? But you see those comments down at the bottom, though? So let's look at some of this. I honestly like Kate and Meghan. I don't care if I get hate or anything. I like Lil Bit and Charlotte. I don't care. They both humans and they deserve to be loved by the social media. Yeah, okay. Meghan is so respectful, bowing to Princess Charlotte. Y'all, it's true. Meghan did bow. This is a hilarious spin on this. She wasn't bowing her head to Charlotte. I know no one will believe me, but I swear Charlotte is in my sister's class in Lambrook in year 5, and she came to my sister. What? Okay. Maybe she did. Let's see some of the other comments. So, oh, it won't let me go down. So wait a minute. Now let's look at the... They saying it's delusional. So let's look at the... let's look at the numbers. It said 342 comments. Okay, let's go. How do we go back? Well, then how do you... Oh, it's 115,000 loves, 342 comments, 10,000 saves, 663 for it. So where's the... I'm confused. Where's the... What did they say? Let's get back to this. They're lies. They're lies. They just lie all day, y'all. They lie all day. That's all they do is lie. So here they say why it matters. The footage was like 84,600 times and viewed 1.1 million times after being posted in the days after Harry and Meghan's wedding. And what to know, it is not clear. But see, this is all spin. This is what they call spin. And they bringing that poor Charlotte in it. But you know, the machine is working hard, y'all. I told you the machine is working hard. They don't give a damn what we think. They trying to sell these two to us. And it's not working. It's not working. Let's get into the comments. Let's get into the Deluxe. Thanks for joining me today. Oh yeah, Amber Heard. Oh, that was so sad. The way she was. That's why you really got to be careful who you pair up with in this life, because they can actually blow up your whole shit, turn your mind around. And Amber Heard, I mean, Johnny Depp pooped in the bed, left her a bed full of shit, didn't he? She took it. I said, that is so nasty. She got him so screwed up. And then they were playing them audio of those two. They were just toxic, but she was a whole liar and schemer. I'm not holding my breath on Charlotte coming here. No, but I'm going to pull that up right quick. And then, okay. Then we got to get quickly to Cassie, but I want to pull up what the American media is trying to claim, that King Charles is coming here to see Harry. Okay, so let me type that up so we can shine a light on him, y'all. King Charles is meeting Harry. Harry. Okay, so let's pull this up. Okay, here's Us Weekly, and they're all saying it, but I know I heard one of the news, they said he's coming to see Harry. But Us Weekly, another propaganda arm, another marketing tool for these celebrities. Will King Charles see Prince Harry during North America trip amid family rift? I say no. I say forget about it. He's not doing it. King Charles is set to travel to North America early next week, but does he have plans to meet up with his estranged son, Prince Harry? Buckingham Palace announced on Tuesday, May 20th, that Charles, 76, and Camilla would travel to Ottawa, Canada on Monday, May 26th, and Tuesday, May 27th. The overseas trip will mark Charles' first visit to Canada as king. The couple is set to meet with several members of Canada's government, and Camilla, 77, will also be sworn in as member of the Canadian Privy Council. Charles' trip to North America has raised questions about whether or not he plans to connect with Harry amid their ongoing family feud. There are no plans on the calendar for the father and son to cross paths just yet. Okay, there it is right there. But I heard clearly on one of those, I don't know if it was News Nation or CBS, one of them said that Harry's coming, Prince Harry, the king is coming to see Harry. So we're gonna find out and see how well they're gonna push that. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open. We're gonna keep watching, right? We are definitely gonna keep watching. Let's get into some of the comments. Deluxe, yes. TGE pictures should be together. Yeah. TGE. Wait a minute. What's TGE? TGE pictures should be together. Tell me that, Deluxe, what's TGE? Oh boy, Ron, do you know about that 7-year itch? Oh yeah, I was in a long-term marriage, and we're no longer married, but he gave me 2 beautiful children. It was a beautiful time in my life, but that's kind of part of life. But her 7 years, and she's putting these pictures on a bulletin board like a teenager, and that's your whole husband? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I swear, Ron, you're educating me about the royals. Yeah, Deluxe. Absolutely. She did. She looked like she was smiling at her. I mean, I didn't know what the big deal, but I don't think the way news Newsweek spin the whole story is that they had to create an interest, and they wanted to celebrate Harry and Meghan's 7-year anniversary. So they put up their wedding and they spin this child in there. And basically it attaches Harry and Meghan again to the royal family, the future king's daughter, Princess Charlotte. So it's all by design. And we got to call them on it because they're not fooling anybody. I was glued to that wedding with my husband. You know what? Me too. Me too. I was so happy for him until Meghan revealed herself. Until Meghan revealed herself to us, and we saw that creature. Her mask fell, and I was like, "Oh hell no, now I'm going to get I sign up the social media. I'm trying to get. I have all of the accounts. I just don't keep up with them like I should. And because I'd be crazy busy. But now that I'm gonna pivot and try to devote more time to my YouTube channel, my travel channel, my true crime, I got ideas about that. So what was I saying? I got the social media account. So yeah, get it because it's a good way to keep you plugged in. It can get crazy, but it keeps you plugged in on what's going on. That's where it's at. I love it. I like the wedding, Deluxe Life. I enjoyed the wedding. I was so happy for those two. And you know what? To me, I think Meghan, if she would have just gone mute, y'all, it's like we don't need to even know how your voice sounds. You know who I think is classy as hell? Prince Albert of Monaco. His wife. You wouldn't know if you don't, she's a beautiful, tall South African lady. She was an Olympic swimmer. She's athletic. But you don't even know how her voice sounds. And she don't go pushing her face all in the media. You know why? Because those with real class and money and power, they don't have to announce it to the world. They just know they got it. And they just move behind the shadows. That's where they dwell, within the shadows. And that's where you need to stay. You don't just stick your head out there and expose yourself. I mean, Meghan Markle was given a gift of a lifetime. It wasn't enough because of this ticky boom boom up here. Yeah, she seems to be just looking at the children. Yeah, I don't know why that was a big deal, but they want to make it a big deal. So I don't know where they got the 1.1 million views. When I clicked on the one they showed on Newsweek, it was nowhere near that. So I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm not surprised because you won't. Because the purpose of that article was to just spin Harry and Meghan to remind us that these are the royals in America and they married. So we got to make sure we admire them. Don't forget, they are tied to the British royal family. Don't forget, they are tied to the British royal family. That's their only currency. So that was just a propaganda piece. It was just a way to promote Harry and Meghan. Thank you, Deluxe. Yep. Deluxe says, I got my daughter watching, Ronnie. She likes hearing you talk to me. She's 39. Oh, thank you, Deluxe Life. Thank you. Thank you. I told you I'm here if you guys here. This is something I love doing, and having conversations every night, most nights. That is, because we got to you got to keep a watch. I told you guys, Hollywood, they have such power, and this entertainment industry in general, whether it's music, whether it's acting, whether it's sports, these basketball players and stuff, they have such an influence on our culture. Some is positive, but a lot of it is negative. Like when you see how these celebrities and these celebrities, how they live their lives, do you really want to live your life? Like, would you really want to switch places with Meghan Markle? Other than the money, you know what? No, I take my life as it is right now. I'm humbled and grateful. I'm at peace right now where I'm at. I tell you, when you've touched hell and survived it, I feel like Wonder Woman. I do. Because at this point, it's like I know literally what's important in my life. Do I stay plugged in and on point every day? Nope. I have to keep working at it. Every day is a new day with its new challenges. So you don't want to switch. Like, would you want to switch places with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith? Would you want to? No, not with what they're doing. Puff Daddy. Cat, do you want to switch places with Cassie? So she got 35 million, but she's also a drug addict. She's an opioid addict. And she's been turned out completely in the industry. So let's get into that right quick before we go, because I got about 10 more minutes. We'll do an hour and a half. So let's pull up Kid Cudi testified today. Speaking of Cassie Ventura and Kid Cudi. So apparently my question is, did Cassie play Kid Cudi? Because that's why you got to be careful of who you're with. Because Puff Daddy really caused some damage to that young man. Well, he's not a young man. He's in his 40s too. These are not children. These are whole grown ass people. So Kid Cudi was testified today, and without going into great deal. Oh, what's wrong with his hair? What the hell happened? Is that a is that a tattoo? Maybe it's a tattoo. I don't know. But here's him going into court. So just to sum it up, Kid Cudi testified he dated Cassie for a short minute. He dated her. He said that Puff Daddy called him, was upset, wanted to meet with him because he was like, why are you dating her? Why are you dating my girl? Blah, blah, blah. And Kid Cudi, you know, in the middle of a toxic situation. So one time Cassie revealed to Kid Cudi that Diddy was, you know, abusing her. So at one time he took her to a hotel to keep her safe. And long story short, in the middle of this toxic suit, Cassie gives Puff Daddy Cudi's address. Yes. Cassie gives Puff Daddy Kid Cudi's address. Puff Daddy and his goons went into Kid Cudi's apartment. He could tell. This is what he's saying on the stand. The camera on the outside, they turned it around so you couldn't see what they were doing. Kid Cudi had a dog. The dog was in the bathroom. The dog was skittish, so they probably beat the shit out of that dog. You know, he said the dog was never the same. Puff Daddy could easily get the address, Kid Cudi's address, but he said Cassie gave it to him. And to me, it's like, why is Cassie giving an address? I mean, I thought, you know, it's just a hot mess, the whole situation. And these, you know, he said he was in love with her. And it's like, really? So then you wonder, wait a minute. Cassie is out there doing freakoffs for years. Turned out. Kid Cudi claims he didn't know they were together. He knew they were together. So, and then he wanted to meet up with Puff to fight with him, but apparently it didn't happen. He just called the police. Okay. So my question for Kid Cudi, are you part of that whole world too? Here's why I'm saying that. A man that's in a healthy space. And what do I mean by healthy space? There's no such thing as a perfect person. Doesn't exist. But what I do mean is a man that's really careful about the decisions that he makes. And he's sizing up a woman. And if she's bringing drama and she's got all this in her life, and Kid Cudi knew about the freak-offs. Everybody knew about the freak-offs. So to me, this reveals more about how wide this whole underworld is. Because Cassie was able to sleep with Kid Cudi. He actually said he went to her family's house for Christmas. So I think in their world, monogamy is not part of it. That's not part of the equation. Cassie was with Puff Daddy, 15 years? So when she got with Kid Cudi, she was with Puff Daddy doing freak-offs, all kind of nasty shit, right? She was allowing him to beat her down and destroy her, stomp on her, kick on her, choke her, bust her, hit her upside the head with violent as hell. So Kid Cudi decides, yes, this is somebody that I want to fall in love with. Really? You don't think that that girl got problems? You don't think that that girl got problems, serious problems? So the lawyer had asked Cudi if they used drugs together. He said, well, we use marijuana. Now listen, Kid Cudi was on a series on HBO. Running for me, running. It was he was a inner city, like a rapper or an artist or something. It was a group of inner city uh up and comers, you know. But it was a series. I can't think of the name of it, but it was good. He was good on there. He's been around a while. I never followed his rap music, but I do remember him from that series. That series was good about 15, 20 years ago. He was really young. So what's clear to me is that Cudi, they are all part of that whole underworld system. It just confirms or reiterate what Cat Williams and Terrence Howard said about these celebrities. Not only that they are bisexual, that they are into all kind of stuff. And not to say anything's wrong with being part of that community. I don't think anything's wrong with it. It is not my business. But I do believe when you are in that world where it's freak-offs, beat downs, where it's just darkness that dwells, and he is moving and moving in the same circles as Puff Daddy, but he asked Puff Daddy, his car gets exploded. It blew up. He put a Molotov cocktail in his car. So, and you still messing around with that girl and you think that was okay. So I guess Kid Cudi was like, okay, it's just the nature of the game. You shouldn't have been messing around with that girl. Period. So now, does that, like I said, does that mean that Cassie deserved what happened to her? No, I'm not saying that. I think Cassie still should have gotten that payout. But my question at the end of the day is, Cassie, that 35 million, because she's got 25 million from Puffy, and then she got what, 10 million from Intercontinental Hotel. So my question, you're a whole opioid addict now, and you remarried with kids, but at the end of the day, was it worth it? All of that, was it worth it? And she could do some good in the community by talking to women, maybe give back in some kind of way, sharing her experience, because she can share with them, hey, this is really what the deal is. So I can't wait to hear her interview, do a documentary. I'd like to learn more about what she's learned really from this experience, because she was with Puff Daddy 15 years. So, and then she marries the trainer. He was Puff Daddy's trainer, which means all them, and then you marry her. Why? So I think all of them, birds of a feather flock together. That's what comes to mind to me. This is not a judgment. All I'm saying is that what this shows is this whole underworld in this Hollyweird, orbit. Well, everything goes. They don't value marriage. They don't value commitment. They don't value honesty, morality. I mean, it's just a depraved. But what happens is when you are in that world where it's only darkness, only God can shine light on that. So your only option is to run. That's it. Run. Get the hell up out of there. That's what you got to do. When you spot a dark force, you run. So he get his dog beaten up, abused. He realized Puff Daddy and him got in his house. So Puff Daddy must have warned him, stop sleeping with her. And he didn't listen. So then he blows up the car. Then he want to call the cops and what? He said he never heard anything after that. That's a whole apex predator. Why are you messing around with that man? That's because in that world, probably, Kid Cudi himself probably got a lot of women and men. You don't know what's going on in that world. No, I'm just saying, it's just that world. It is just that world. And I'm telling you, that sort of darkness, where does the light? Only God can shine a light up in that. So I guess my question tonight is, did Cassie Ventura play Kid Cudi? Sure she did. Sure she played him. She used him as a tool to poke at Puff Daddy. Sure she did. And Cassie, it does not mean anything to her sleeping with people. She was doing it for sport, for Puff Daddy. And she was not, the times that she was abused, that's horrible. But there are hundreds and thousands more times where she wasn't. and she was a willing participant. She was all part of that world and fine with getting the ass whoopings as long as she could stay in that orbit with this whole apex predator because they had money. And then her mother and father had to pay that $20,000. They had to get a mortgage on their home to get Puff Daddy, that man, off her back because she decided to get in a relationship with a whole apex predator and maintain that relationship for 25 years. So, like I said, I think Cassie deserves the money. I don't think Cassie deserves to be physically and emotionally abused. But, and however, she was a willing participant in that depraved world where they rubbing each, where she catered to this depraved tyrant of a man. And then she finally left, got the courage to leave after 15 years. But interesting stuff. But Kid Cudi, the question is, yes, I do believe that Cassie played Kid Cudi. Now, I looked online, and of course, when we talk with these celebrities, you got to go online and on the social media to see how their people are trying to spin it. So what I did was I just typed in, did Cassie Ventura betray Kid Cudi? And here's some of what I pull up. Let me show you. I think I have it up. Hold on one second. So, and that's the question of the day. That is the question of the day. I think she did. And let me pull this up. Let me just share this so we can go and see what People Magazine, who's basically the our marketing arm of these celebrities. So they're going to try to convince us that she did not play Puff. How did Puff Daddy get the address? Now, Puff Daddy could easily got an address with his money. He could pay for it. But my question is, why did she give it to him if that's her friend? So in 2011, Cassie dated Kid Cudi amid her on again and off again relationship with Diddy. So let's see. Hold on, we'll see. Cassie, oh, here it is. Cassie dated Kid Cudi in 2011 amid a breakup from her relationship with Diddy. Well, we know Cassie she double books. She still messes around with the previous boyfriends. And I'm not making her I'm not trying to attack the victim. What I'm saying is her lifestyle. She was bringing men into her life. She was part of that lifestyle where she, sleeping with men was not an issue with her. She, having, the O word or ORGY. Now they say here, Cassie said Diddy lunged at her after finding out about her romance with Kid Cudi. Now they both were cheating. Not to say there's a legitimate excuse for that, because even if I did, you don't have a right to put your hands on me. But Cassie was the one that gave Diddy Cudi's phone number. And Kid Cudi is accusing Diddy of blowing up his car. So it's clear to me that Cassie is she be double, and she was never going to let Puff Daddy go for a long time because he's got that money and she wanted. Now she's got 35 million. She don't need him. But Puff Daddy got upset because that's his property. He looked at her, you're my property. I pay you. You do what I say. You are my punching bag when I need, and I get to want to punch and stomp. That's what you are to me. You are my blow up doll, SEX doll. You do what I say, and I can do what I want, but you can't. That was the agreement. She gets emotional. She's, she put up with it. Instead of leaving, she stayed. Some will say Stockholm syndrome. I do think there is some of that. That is some of that. But getting with Kid Cudi and all these other men, and then getting with her trainer, messy. But that's the world. That's the world that they roam in, dwell in. It's a dark underworld that they're dwelling in. So Kid Cudi should be lucky that he wasn't gunned down in the street messing around with that girl. And I know that's what his family is telling him. I know his family is telling him what, and his mother, if his mother's still alive, if he got siblings, like, dude, I mean, the beautiful women come a dime a dozen in California and New York. Cassie's pretty, but it's a lot of pretty women. Why you got to deal with Puff Daddy's girl and he beating her down? They already went to his apartment. They broke into his whole apartment. You don't have enough of that? You just really got to get with that, huh? You just really got what? And this idea that these in that world, they all share the same 304s. They all share the same 304s. It is crazy to me. So Kid Cudi is lucky to be alive, to be honest with you, in my opinion. And he's got to question his judgment. And then you're going to go and say you in love with it? That's even worse. Like, how you going to look and be truly in love with a woman that has bed thousands of men and engage in ORGYSs and freakoffs and on drugs? That's because Cudi is also part of that system. That's their world. So that is not nothing shocking or unusual for him. So as far as I'm concerned, birds of a feather flock together. Cudi is no different in that world. I don't think he's a Diddy. I don't think he's a monster. I have not heard of him going out and abusing women. But does he probably engage in that lifestyle? I think he's very comfortable with it if he hangs out with people that do it all the time. I don't think that's a world that he's not accustomed to. And then afterwards, he met with Puff Daddy several times and was like, everything was cool. Really? Everything's cool. Why? Everything's cool. Why? That man could have taken you out. And you think Kid Cudi people gonna care because you another black man gets shot down in the street? They didn't care about Tupac Shakur. They didn't give a damn about Biggie. Why are they gonna give a damn about you? Because you just had to go sleep with Cassie? You had to go sleep with her while Puff Daddy, he likes to have men. This is what came up in court. It's disgusting. He did not allow the men. He don't like protection. So she had men in her and they ejaculate, and allegedly he likes to EAT her, like drinking other men. It is it is depraved. And then all y'all sitting around with this man. You guys should not have ever, you shouldn't even been in the orbit of this man. But you in the orbit because you are a part of all this. Did Cassie get to freakoffs with you? With men and women? Did so this reveals a lot to me. And I want to reiterate. So I still think Cassie deserved that 35 million. I do. And I think Puff Daddy needs to be put in jail, under the jail. He needs to spend the rest of his life in prison because he's destroyed enough people's lives. But Kid Cudi, I think what this revealed to me today is that you got played by Cassie, and also that you are very much a part of that whole freak off culture. All right, that's my last verdict. So, Deluxe, thank you so much, Deluxe Life. Thank you for the super sticker. Love you. Thank you. Let's look at the comments before I go. And this is an interesting topic. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Thank you, Deluxe. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, she played Kid Cudi. Of course she did. She played him. She did. Because why would she give? And to him, he didn't even look at it as a betrayal. So you could tell that these people are not rooted in they don't have a moral compass. They don't have boundaries. Like when you navigate in and out of this world not in and out, when you navigate through in and out of relationships, most people will have, red lines, deal breakers. Don't cross this. They will have boundaries. Don't do this. But it seems in this world with them, there's no boundaries really. And that's because those boundaries have been turned down because everything and anything goes. Everything and anything goes. So he's also a part of that whole system, in my opinion. In my opinion. Because there's no way that if that was, think about that, that was your brother or your child, your son, or, that he get his car blown up, Molotov cocktail, go in the car, and you call the cops and they hear nothing else. Like they said, it was a female DNA in the front seat and during the trial. And then he said, "Oh, I didn't know that." Cops didn't tell you? No, I didn't know. Yeah, Cassie was in the car and then she got out and they blew your shit up. She liked poking him. It was a very sick relationship. She liked poking Puff Daddy, getting him to explode. Maybe that's her way of getting a reaction from him. Maybe that's, a sick way of feeling like she's loved. Like, girl, he hired you to do a job. You were his eye candy. You were his blow up doll. You were his punching bag. And whenever he get angry, he want to start swinging on somebody and kicking and stomping them. You served that purpose. And you were basically his party planner when he wanted to have his freakoffs. And, and you were there to serve his sexual deviancy. That was a job. And now you got paid $35 million for it. So Cudi saying, "I love you." What do you know about love then, Cudi? Because I'm still confused. Like, what about her? She's a whole 304. She's with this whole an apex predator. What is it? What are you talking about? So I don't even know if he really loved her, unless something's wrong with him. Because that doesn't ring true to me. Because it makes no sense. So, or maybe he loved her because everything goes. Like, all the stuff that she did with Puff Daddy, she did it with him too. And so he loves it, where you get all of the deviant sex you want. There are no boundaries. Everything goes. And maybe having that kind of life, in that world, he fell in love with it. He loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Yeah. My God, and my moral compass eat my soul. I just couldn't. It's a dark world. Yes, Lordy. When I heard that, I was just like, oh my God. I said, Lord, it's just, and it's got to get, you know what? I realize it always come back to this. Remember, I bring this up every once in a while, where, remember in the Bible, somewhere in the Bible, I don't remember the verse where it says a rich man's chance of going to heaven is what did it say? A rich man. Let's pull it up. And this reminds me of that. A rich man's chance of getting into heaven. We got to pull it up because I like to just pull it up so you can actually see it. Because this comes to mind for me each and every time I think about, when I talk about these celebrities and how we can learn so much from them, because what they've got, we don't want. And it says here, Matthew 19:23-26, King James Version. Then said Jesus unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. That's deep, ain't it? A rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, what do they mean? I told you guys, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. So I think more on symbolism. What does that mean? What my interpretation of what Jesus is saying here is that when you make these worldly possessions your God, when you make money, power, status, image, all of that your God, that comes before you, then you are not plugged in the spirit. You're not plugged into God. And you are more prone to being exploited by the devil or dark forces, whatever you call them. I call it dark forces, demons, the devil. That's why you see rich people like Puff Daddy or Harvey Weinstein given all the wealth in the world. They're not happy. They're not happy at all. That's because they put God and plugging in the spirit, helping others. That's that no, not so much. They don't want that. They want money, power, status, control. That's their power. So when you say when they say plug into when they say your chances of heaven, that means plugging into spirit, plugging into God. For me, I'm more spiritual. I think staying plugged in. How do I stay plugged into God? I do quiet time, 5 minute meditation in the morning. I would love to get to 20 minutes a day. Hey, I'm of this world. I can't, my mind can't sit still, but it's a goal of mine. But I do give God 5 minutes of my time, do a little bit of prayer. Another thing, I try to do the next right thing. I try to help others where I can, because that's important. Giving back, getting out of myself. Another thing I do is I'm human. I'm not perfect. So if I try to keep my side of the street clean, my side of the yard clean. If I screw up or I hurt someone, I try to make amends the best way I can. I try to stay mindful of my thinking and how I am behaving out here in the world. But I also make sure that, okay, am I putting God, the Holy Spirit first? Am I putting God first? And putting God first is those things: helping others, getting out of yourself, um, taking care of yourself, giving God his time, quiet time, meditation or walking, even exercise or cleaning can be meditative. So those are the things I do. So yeah, it birds of a feather flock together with these, and Cassie is no different. None of them. They're not. These are people that are not happy. These are people that are miserable behind the scenes. And as long as they continue to make money and power, and we see this with Puff Daddy, he's gone down for a long time. I think he's going to be convicted. I'm not sure, because it's all in God's hands. I don't know. But from what I'm seeing and what my spidey senses tell me, I got enough common sense to spot an apex predator. And if nothing but darkness come around, is it all around him since the late 80s? Are you serious? So Kid Cudi is lucky to be alive. Very, very lucky to be alive. Yes, and you gotta have that moral compass. You gotta have, what did they say? If you don't stand for anything, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You walk around this world with no boundaries, people will walk all over you, and that's what it is. You gotta say, hey, you gotta have red lines. Say, hey, I'm not crossing this. Even people in my life know, and I keep my circle small too. Those who are closest to me. If you are not respecting my boundaries, and they vary depending on the individual, right? Then, and I'm going to give you love because you are my friend and I love you, or you're my family member. But if you're not giving me that, respecting my boundaries, we got a problem. And when people push up against the boundaries, you got to call them on it. You got to call them on it. Last night, I saw her home here in California. It's priced at $8 million. What? 8 million. I'm not surprised. She got 20 or 25 million from Puff, and then she got 10 million from Intercontinental Hotel, which she bought. Hopefully she could save this money and live a better life. I wish her well. Having that opioid addiction, she's on medication for that because she's an opioid addict, or opiate. What do they call it? Opioid addict? Opiate addict is what they call it. So her children, I do wish them well, but I'm like, ugh, it was, I don't know. I'm like, couldn't you just made 5 millions by going on your own? Like, never tying yourself to this guy and making your own money your own way, where you build confidence and emotional maturity, and you become more stronger in this world because you have weathered storms that not by some tyrannical demon. So I don't know. It's just, but I'm not surprised. I'm sure she got a beautiful house. Really enjoyed the show. I'm going to have dinner and have a good night. Thank you. Deluxe, me too. It's 1:50. I am going to call it a night. Yes, that's right. To get through a needle and just think Thank him for everything, especially his peace. Amen. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, God is good. So this was great, yeah, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate the company. I'll be back on tomorrow, same time. If you're here, I'm here. So you guys have a good night. Deluxe, enjoy dinner. Thank you so much for sharing. You guys have a good night, and I'll chat with you tomorrow. Love you. Ciao. Mwah.